Hey guys, welcome back. BDCKR here, and we're back with our weekly recap of all things Injustice. This is for the week of February 11th, 2021. The current character challenge is Arkham Knight Batgirl. That is a 1-week repeat. The required characters for that are Nightwing, Green Lantern, and Black Adam, who are bronze, and silver, respectively. Her passive is Got Your Back, which is Batgirl has a chance for her Special 1 or Special 2 to be unblockable. Arkham characters can be rescued from one KO blow by swapping in for them and using a smoke bomb with a chance to stun. She's got 1,375 attack and 1,325 health. One of the few numbers that's hard to just read out as like 1,200 or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So she got good high stats, and she was last available in November of 2019.
Yeah. I think it's relatively non-controversial to say that not only is she a great Arkham card, she is probably one of the few Arkham cards that should be on every Arkham team. Mm-hmm. So no matter how good your Arkham guy is, she increases by almost doubling their value. So here's the thing. Her first part passive, easy. Unblockable for specials is pretty cool. And because she has multi-hit specials, that's pretty much a guarantee that something's going to hit. It's just a matter of how many will hit because it's how many are blocked before the block break. And I guess the special one isn't as good because the block breaks if it happens after the stun, then you don't get the same kind of value, right? Because that's a lot of the ways that you'll play her. And I guess I can get into that later, but the really big part of her passive that makes her such a good teammate is that second ability. And technically, it's actually a second and third ability, right? The second ability is to save her teammates. The third ability is that chance to stun when she comes in. Mm-hmm. And so if we're talking about making her really dangerous, the most effective and dangerous use of Arkham Knight Batgirl, give her a loadout that guarantees power when she tags in. So you got a few options for that. You give her either Cloak of Destiny or Necron Scythe to boost stun damage because you're going to stun when you tag in, or you can stun when you do a special one. And League of Assassin's Knives to give splash on special one. And all of a sudden, right? She saves her teammate when she tags in. She does the usual Batgirl thing, does a special one that stuns on the first part, even if they aren't stunned already when she tags in. And it's back end loaded, huge amount of damage, gets shared with all the opponents. Mm-hmm. Wonderful. And on defense, it isn't, if you got her on your defense team, it isn't as easy to control what Arkham Knight Batgirl does when she tags in, but if you're unlucky enough to be facing her, and so she's defending against you, there's always a chance that on that particular loadout, you're going to be vulnerable to having your team wiped out. Yeah. And so I think that as a character, she's probably one of the few on an Arkham team that actually changes the way you play because you need to be prepared, whichever teammate you're knocking out, that she isn't the one that's going to knock you out. Mm. And our main strategy for dealing with this is that either knock out her teammate before she gets a bar of power, hope that the boosted damage is survivable, or if she's probably going to have power when she tags in, say with Tensi Totem, then it's going to be making sure that our Astral Harness character is the one that is facing her that knocks out the last one, because hopefully one of the invulnerabilities triggers in the middle of her special, and then we can survive it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there we go. This week's multiplayer reward is the Batmobile, which becomes the Militarized Batmobile. And when it is fully maxed out, it gives you 25% max health increase. For Batman only, 20% super move damage increase. Again for Batman only, 100% area effect. Opponent's team takes 25% damage from your super move. And then the last ability, which is once again Batman only, there is a 100% chance for a 5-second invulnerability after your super move is activated. It was last available in July of 2020. We're back on track for a sixth week in a row after the quick interruption to the multiplayer reward schedule. And so we should expect to see Blackest Night Doomsday for next week.
Right. I've made this comment a lot of times, and I'm happy to make the argument that this is the worst, or one of the worst legendary gears ever.
Yeah, there's a lot of gears that are much better with a lot less stars to their name.
Yeah. The first part is that there's, out of the 4 abilities, there's only one that's useful for a non-Batman. And, if the counter argument to that is going to be, well, there's so many Batman skins, you have lots of cards that you could play with it, then you have to look a little closer at the abilities, and that doesn't really hold up either. So 25% health boost is higher than any of the non-legendary 3.5 star gears or lower, But this is a 4.5-star gear. So if you compare it to that, this 25% is not great. Brandish and Jado gives 40%. Batman's helmet gives 40%. Fourth World chest plate gives 40%. So, it as a absolute stat, it's not great. And those other gears don't give health boosts only to Batman.
Yeah.
So it's a fair comparison. Actually, never mind. I'm talking about the non-Batman ability first. But all right, so all the other 3 effects that are Batman effects, they're all super move related.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess at the time when Batmobile first came out, that made sense because back then the super move was really useful, right? There was some value in getting up to 3 bars of power because it was unblockable. I mean, that's what they say in each super move, right? That it's unblockable. Yeah. And so better to do a super than a special 1 or special 2 because you were guaranteed to hit. Then when they introduced multiplayer, mechanics totally changed. Supers became defendable, right? So, and it didn't matter whether they blocked. Like, you didn't even have to be prepared. You could reduce the damage.
In fact, it's almost impossible to not reduce the damage at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Like 30% or 40% is pretty easy to get consistently.
Right. And so when you do a super, you spend 3 bars of power, you're actually most of the time doing less damage than an unblocked 2 because, one, you could time a special to be unblocked, but you can't do anything about super. It's always going to be blocked something, like a little random amount of something. Mm-hmm. And special 2 costs 1 bar less of power. And even if the super was 0% defended, which you never see, the amount of damage per bar of power is still less than special 2 because special 2 can actually crit, but a super never can.
Yeah. So they added a lot of new mechanics that made it just not nearly as good. Right. So a 20% boost to the super isn't actually that big a deal. It's not enough to make you want to use a super instead of something else.
Right.
25% splash damage is okay, but it's not as good as the 15% splash with the Fourth World Godly Mace for Special 2, or the 50% splash on Special 1 with the League of Assassins Knives. Because the other thing about supers is they never have any secondary effects.
Right.
So it's always just straight damage. And so, when you look at stuff like stuns or freezing or power drain or anything else, you can combo those and have synergy, but you can't really have any synergy with the super. It's just damage.
Right. 5 seconds invulnerability after super. It isn't even enough time to build up, say, more than a bar of power. Mm-hmm. Astro Harness's invulnerability lasts longer than this. And that doesn't even cost you 3 bars of power to trigger.
Yeah, and it triggers when you actually need it, which is when you're taking damage, not right after you've just knocked somebody out.
Right. So if you think about it, too, actually, now that I've been playing more with a team that I would like to demonstrate soon, the Enchantress, the Suicide Squad gear, the Enchantress Companion gear, does as good a job for a shorter period of time for defending yourself against a super. It only costs you 1 bar of power to disable all their specials temporarily.
Yeah.
So I think if you could equip this gear without taking up a slot, it might be useful, but it's just that it's the opportunity cost, right?
If it was just his car.
Yeah, if it was his vehicle. So it's hard to justify the Batmobile over any other legendary gear, even if you're Batman. And in general, because, you've only got 3 slots. The opportunity cost of sticking in this 4.5-star gear isn't nearly as good as most 3.5-star gears, or even some 2.5-star gears. Yeah,
there's always something better to put on him. It's only good if you don't have something better. But if you have selection, it's not super great. Yeah. So there we go. In the store, we have the character bundle Batman vs. Superman for $24.99 Canadian as always. And that comes with Dawn of Justice Batman, Dawn of Justice Superman, and 2 gears. And the gears that it comes with are Batman's hooded cloak and glasses. Which start out as Clark Kent's glasses and Batman's cowl. Those. They become Clark Kent's glasses and Batman's cowl.
So at least the special Dawn of Justice ones.
So it's not a terrible deal. It's not that expensive. I mean, Dawn of Justice might be worth snatching up if you want it. We don't tend to recommend it, but if you really want these characters in those gears, then
Batman's fun, right? Because he's never had a challenge. He's used to be a rare drop and a special pack. So.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of challenges, there's no other pack, so we don't actually have any clue to what next week's challenge is going to be.
Yeah, interesting.
Mm-hmm. In our Survivor, we have the League of Assassins gear set until the 24th of February 2021. Phantom Zone is finished. Fight 62 is still broken. Last weekend's breakthrough was Cyborg, Batgirl, and Black Adam. This coming weekend's is probably Deadshot, Wonder Woman, and Static. If you're looking to figure out what next weekend's breakthrough is going to be without us, you can check out the description where we have a link to a Reddit thread from Devlin16 that goes over the complete breakthrough cycle.
Right. And we've got double XP for the next 4 days, so over that weekend. Is there some special thing this weekend? It doesn't feel like it. I mean, we're home so much.
The special thing is double XP.
I guess that's it. That's the holiday. Okay.
Yeah.
So moving on to current glitches. Remember that every working glitch is explained in a video as part of the playlist. It's actually a tutorial video, each one. You can reach by clicking the eye in the top right corner of this video. We're Android only. We can only confirm these glitches for Android, but we'll talk a little bit about iOS when people have shared information with us. Spoiler alert, nothing has changed this week. So like we usually do, we start with the significant not working glitches, things that have worked before in the past that people want but aren't available. So there's no working glitch for credits that we can endorse. We get into way more in our previous episode, season 6, episode 9 of P and Q and CNA and T. Main thing, it requires the one thing that people are using, 2 devices simultaneously logged into one account. Too much risk of getting your account suspended, not worth it. Getting repeated past multiplayer season rewards, that glitch is not working. Getting early multiplayer season rewards, not working in a way to exploit. And no glitch to get through Phantom Zone quickly when it's available, and it still hasn't been available in Android since beginning of December. So it's been a few months.
Yeah. The free energy without having to watch a video glitch is gone too. I don't even know if we need to mention it. We don't always mention it anymore.
Because the button's been gone for so long, it seems like most people who are joining now wouldn't even remember that there was a button.
That's true.
Yeah.
But anyways, moving on to the working glitches. The challenge reset method that requires Google Play Cloud Save is working. That's tested and confirmed on the current Arkham Knight Batgirl challenge. We like to mention that the reset glitch can remove Phantom Zone progress. It's becoming increasingly less relevant the longer we spend without it, but we like to keep that in mind just so that when it comes back, you're not going to be so used to just resetting the challenge willy-nilly that you accidentally are resetting your crystal. Because, if it only comes back every once in a while, it's going to be even more of a commodity while it's there, and you don't want to waste your time doing something with the challenge instead of Phantom Zone.
So 2 notes that we can't comment on because we're Android 9. So Android 10, comment, cut and paste in the description from Tam and Kakde about what files to move around so you don't have to re-download a gig worth of data when you do the challenge reset. And steps explained by Jonathan Yang on how to reset the challenge on iOS.
So there we go. The breakthrough glitch that you play it repeatedly is still working. And the airplane mode / refund glitch is still working. So that's good for anything that you don't need an internet connection to redeem, and anything that can give you a different thing every time you open it. So that's basically all the packs and last laugh tickets, but not the Phantom Zone.
Time shifting still works in Android for unlimited survivor plane and energy recharges. Remember. Make your clock back to normal before you're completely done playing. Changing your clock is responsible for messing up a lot of stuff that's supposed to happen on a schedule, like the challenge, like the Phantom Zone sometimes when it's around. So make sure you fix it if you're going to use it.
Last but not least, we have the promotion glitch where you can promote characters that are still locked. It hasn't had the right conditions since update 2.14, so it's not testable, it's not usable, it hasn't been for years now, but we keep it here on a technicality because we can, kind of in between working and not working.
Okay, and that's it for this week. Thank you very much for watching. We want to give a special thank you to our patrons on Patreon, and that would be Consul Peasant and Edwoon, supporting us at the top tier last word, Mohammed Albshaiti at the Your Message Here tier, Shawn Farrell, Daniel Simonson, Aaron Maule, Michael DeVries, Brandon C., Irvin Ruiz, and Eddydoo at the credited level, and Chris Wolff, Scarlet, Dani, Awesomegamer 2-for-1, Pavu RS, Gavin, Mallott, and Isfar E at the gratitude level.
There we go. As always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Komoda!